Hi, my name is Ralph, and I'm the owner of a Bark and Vine indoor plant shop here in New Haven. So we are an indoor plant shop here in New Haven, Connecticut. We cater to all types of gardeners, whether you're a beginner gardener or a veteran. We carry tropical houseplants and gifts and accessories, all inclusive of the gardening lifestyle. Bark and Vine started during the middle of the pandemic. I found myself without a job because the pandemic closed everything, and found myself gardening, and essentially organically found a way to marry my background in retail into opening up an indoor plant shop here in New Haven. So when I thought of the idea for Bark and Vine, the one thing that I've always wanted was a sense of community, especially when I was going around different nurseries. I found myself feeling like the only one who was into plants during the pandemic, but that was so wrong. Everyone was into plants during the pandemic. So essentially when I first opened up the doors of Bark and Vine, I wanted to create a community or a retail front with an ability to host classes and events. So we've been able to do that. We have multiple classes throughout the year. We have one coming up where we're collaborating with a tattoo shop and New Haven Pride Center, where you get a tattoo and you get a plant at the end of the day. And it's just been an amazing experience to marry all my passions and gardening and photography and tattoos and partnering up with small businesses throughout New Haven. And I guess the goal forward is to continue doing that and to continue to create a space that allows me to be part of the community and for the community to be part of Bark and Vine. New Haven's been amazing to us, especially when we opened during the middle of the pandemic. A lot of people asked, why did you open up a storefront when stores were closing? And one of the answers that I always gave was, if people around you wanted the same thing that you want, and New Haven was one of those people, one of those communities, they really wanted a space like this, a storefront like this, where they can come in, experience nature, experience taking care of plants in a very intimate setting. People wanted that, and they made it happen alongside with me. And so the community rallying behind me and creating Bark and Vine that's truly for them, by them, it's something that I truly, truly love. Bark and Vine was an Instagram handle way before the storefront idea came. It was a journal for gardening. The name came from me planting my first tomato vine and my dog barking in the background. And so when I was thinking of a name for this journal on Instagram, Bark and Vine came to place. Barks and vines, it must be home. No, so we hold classes from Gardening 101 to building your own terrarium to Houseplant 101, repotting classes 101. But we also host other classes where we're getting ready to do a tarot reading 101, calligraphy 101. It's essentially anything that I find interesting. It's been anything that I find interesting, really. It's been great to host classes here. So even if you're not a gardener, even if you don't have houseplants, we have something for you. So Bark and Vine carries a lot of your generic houseplants, your standard houseplants, but we also cater to houseplant collectors. We recently just sold our last Monstera albo. It's a plant that is essentially very rare to find in your standard big box stores. And we also carry plants that you find anywhere, but the biggest thing is essentially the setting that we have here. You can essentially envision your plant in an apartment style, which is similar to our storefront. So you can find us at barkandvineshop.com or on Instagram at barkandvine, or feel free to stop at the shop at 49 Orange Street here in Ninth Square. Store hours are Sunday 12 to 6. We're closed Mondays, but we're open again Tuesdays through Saturdays 11 to 7.